All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Arvizo, do you recall being interviewed by the Santa Barbara sheriffs about drinking in the arcade?
They can't hear you in the back of the room.
Do you still have your microphone on?
It's on. Mr. Arvizo, do you recall discussing with the Santa Barbara sheriffs your claim that you were drinking in the arcade with Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Do you recall telling them the following? We didn't drink a lot.
No.
Would it refresh your recollection if I show you a transcript from that interview?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm sorry, counsel, what page was that?
26. Mr. Arvizo, have you had a chance to look at that page?
Yes.
Does it refresh your recollection about what you told the Santa Barbara sheriffs?
Not really.
You told them, we didn't drink a lot, right?
I don't know. It says it on there.
Do you recall saying that?
No.
Pardon me.
No.
Do you deny saying that?
I don't know if I ever said that.
Would you agree that every time you were interviewed, your stories of drinking got worse and worse, correct?
No.
You initially told them you didn't drink a lot.
That's true.
Then you started telling them you drank a lot, and then you started telling them, we drank every night, correct?
Well, a lot would be every night, so it would really.
Pardon me.
A lot would be every night.
And you're saying after Miami that you basically were drinking every single evening at Neverland, correct?
No, I told him that every single evening that Michael was there. In those transcripts, probably when, I don't know.
Isn't it true that every time you were interviewed, your stories of drinking got bigger and bigger and bigger?
No.
Are you saying your stories to the sheriffs were always consistent when it came to drinking?
I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, it doesn't really matter whether I said that or not. I'm saying the fact is that we drank every night that Michael was there.
Did you ever discuss your drinking with your mother when she was at Neverland?
I think I called her up at night. Yeah, I called her up at night once.
You called her up.
Called her on Michael's phone.
You called her from Michael's room to say you were drinking.
No.
During the nights after Miami, when your mother was staying at Neverland, are you saying you never discussed your drinking with her?
No, there was one. I'm talking about the one night that I told Michael that. I told Michael about the test that I had to take, and I called my mom up. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, so not only did you never have a discussion with your mother about where you were staying at night, but you never had a discussion with her about drinking alcohol, is that correct?
Yes.
Object as argumentative, Your Honor.
Sustained.
When you were at the Calabasas Inn, was there a phone in your room?
I'm pretty sure there was.
Did you ever see anybody call the police?
No.
When you were shopping near the Calabasas Inn, to your knowledge, did anyone ever scream, help?
No, I don't think so.
Ever see your mother do it?
No.
Ever see Star do it?
No.
Ever see your sister do it?
No.
You didn't do it either, correct?
No.
After you escaped from Neverland the first time, where did you go?
I think we went to my grandmother's house.
To your knowledge, did anybody call the police and say, we've been?
No, because the thing was,
Let me just finish my question.
Okay.
After you say you escaped from Neverland the first time, you went to your grandparents, correct?
Yes.
And how did you get there?
Jesus Solace drove us there.
Do you recall anyone ever calling the police and saying, we've just been held against our will?
No, because my mom was.
Let me just ask you the questions. Okay, nobody did, right?
No.
A few days later, you went back to Neverland, right?
I believe, yes.
And then you say you escaped a second time, correct?
Yes.
And when you escaped the second time, how did you get out of Neverland?
I don't know.
Someone drove you somewhere, right?
Yeah, probably.
Did you go to your grandparents again?
Probably.
Nobody called the police from your grandparents when you say you escaped the second time, right?
No.
And then you claim you returned, right?
Yes.
And you say you finally escaped for good, right?
Yes.
And when you got back after finally escaping for good to your grandparents, nobody called the police, correct?
No.
Now, when you say Mr. Jackson masturbated you, you've indicated that was sometime between Jesus Solace driving your family to your grandparents and your final trip out of Neverland, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that's at a time when you say your mother was being threatened, correct?
My mother said that she was being threatened, she felt. And Frank also told me once that, because he was angry about my mom always wanting to leave and stuff.
Okay. But basically what you're saying is that the inappropriate touching by Michael Jackson happened after you'd escaped a few times, correct?
Yes.
After you'd gone back a few times after your escapes, right?
Yes.
And after you claim you knew your mother was being threatened by Frank, correct?
Frank was angry at my mom once and he told me, "Hey, Gavin, you know I could have your mother killed."
Okay, and you believed him, correct?
Yes.
Did you believe Frank?
Yes.
Alright, and you knew about the Brazil planning at this point, correct?
Yes.
Because you'd been to an agency, a federal office to get a visa, right?
Yes.
Do you remember driving down to that federal office?
Yes.
Do you remember going into the federal office?
Yes.
And while you were in that federal office, nobody screamed for help, right?
No.
And this was after you had the interview with the 3 social workers at Jay Jackson's home, right?
Yes.
And during the interview with the social workers at Jay Jackson's home, nobody screamed for help, true?
No.
And that was after you went to Hamid's home for the rebuttal video, right?
I think it was. I don't know.
Right.
I think it was.
And what you're saying is that after your interview with the social workers, where you were asked questions about Michael Jackson, you're saying it was after that inappropriate touching began, correct?
Yes.
While Mr. Jackson is being investigated by Los Angeles County, true?
It didn't happen until the last few weeks before I left. Or 2 weeks, somewhere around there.
Let me ask the question again.
Okay.
The 3 social workers were from Los Angeles County, true?
I think they were.
And they were asking you questions about whether Mr. Jackson had ever inappropriately touched you, correct?
Yes.
And you said, no, right?
Yes.
You knew they were investigating Mr. Jackson, right?
No, I thought they were just going to try to ask me, and that was it. I didn't know.
But what you're telling the jury is that after this investigation starts and after you and your family are questioned, Mr. Jackson supposedly starts touching you inappropriately, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, you indicated to the jury last week that the first time Mr. Jackson inappropriately touched you, you weren't looking at him, right?
Well, it's like I would turn over to him sometimes. I glanced over at him a couple times.
You said you weren't really looking at him, right?
Not really.
Okay, you said you weren't looking at him, but you could somehow feel him moving, correct?
I could feel his leg like moving up against.
Okay, after that, did you complain to your mother that you had been inappropriately touched?
No, I never discussed it with my mom. I never discussed it with my mom at all.
Did you complain to Star that you had been inappropriately touched?
No.
Did you complain to your sister that you had been inappropriately touched?
No.
Did you complain to Jay Jackson that you had been inappropriately touched?
No.
Were you upset when you say you were inappropriately touched?
If I was upset?
Yes. Were you upset?
Yeah, because, something happened to where, it's not like I can go back and change it, you know what I mean. It's like something that I have, no control of.
Well, at this point, in your mind, your mother's been threatened and you've been inappropriately touched, correct?
Yes.
And you remained at Neverland, true?
Yes.
And you claim you continued to stay in his bedroom, right?
Well, I think he left after the second time.
You think Michael Jackson left after the second time?
Yeah, a few days after the second time. That's why I'm pretty sure that it happened 2 weeks before, because I know I'm pretty sure that Michael left like a day after the second time.
Well, but you told the jury last week it was a couple of days before you left for good. Do you remember that?
No, you kept on saying that.
Pardon me.
No, you kept on saying that.
Well, let's look at this. You said that maybe a few days before you left Neverland for good you were inappropriately touched, right?
Judge, I'm going to object as asked and answered. He was asked this morning.
Sustained.
Do you remember saying last week, Mr. Arvizo, when I asked you when it happened, you said, no, it was more toward the end, toward when we were already about to leave, after we had been drinking alcohol and all that stuff. It wasn't directly after the DCSF. It was more toward the end of a few days before you left Neverland, right?
Same objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
You then changed it later on in that examination to say, it was a week before we left, right?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to counsel. He's just trying to read this in after the objection.
Sustained. Counsel. Be quiet. You're arguing your case. Stop it. Start asking questions.
Yes, Your Honor. Do you know when you first saw attorney Larry Feldman?
Yes.
When was that?
It was after all the stuff was done.
And approximately when?
I don't know.
Have you discussed your meeting with Larry Feldman with any prosecutor?
I don't think so.
At any time?
No.
Pardon me.
No, I don't think I ever talked to anyone.
So you've never talked to any prosecutor about your meeting with attorney Feldman? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Did you ever discuss your meeting with attorney Larry Feldman with any sheriff?
I don't think I did.
Do you know for sure?
No.
You eventually spoke to a psychologist named Stanley Katz, correct?
Yes.
Do you know about when that was?
No.
You told Stanley Katz that chemotherapy had messed up your head. Do you remember that?
Yeah, for a while it was hard for me to do schoolwork in school because of the chemotherapy.
And you told Stanley Katz that, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell him you had memory problems?
Yeah, for a while I had memory problems.
And that was from chemotherapy, correct?
I believe so.
Were you taking any medications at the time you returned to Neverland from Miami?
I have to take, even now, the 500 milligrams of amoxicillin, and 5 milligrams of lisinopril for my kidney and because I don't have a spleen.
Do you remember telling psychologist Stanley Katz you thought a crazy fan of Michael Jackson will kill you?
Yes.
You never told that to the sheriffs, correct?
I'm pretty sure I discussed it with them.
Well, it never appears in your interviews, right?
Yeah, I guess it didn't. But, I mean, it doesn't mean I didn't tell them that.
The only time that you used the word kill was when you told the sheriffs that Frank had threatened to kill your mom, right?
In an interview.
When did you start thinking that a crazy fan of Michael Jackson will kill you?
When Frank kept on telling us that there was death threats on us.
What were the death threats?
I don't know. Frank just told us that.
Well, when you discussed that with Stanley Katz, you didn't tell him that came from Frank. You told him you personally were frightened, right?
Yeah, but I mean.
Is that right?
Yes. Frank was the one that really made me realize that could happen.
Okay, now, did you ever discuss with Michael Jackson your fear that a fan might hurt you?
I don't know.
Did you ever discuss with Michael Jackson what Frank was telling you that you thought was threatening?
I don't think I did.
Okay, so based on your experiences, Michael Jackson knew nothing about what Frank was saying to you, correct?
Object. It calls for speculation.
Sustained.
When you were at the Calabasas Inn, you never spoke to Michael Jackson, right?
No, I don't think so.
The night before you did the rebuttal video, you never spoke to Michael Jackson, right?
I might have. I don't know.
The day you did the rebuttal video, you never spoke to Michael Jackson, right?
No, Michael was telling me that I'm going to do a rebuttal for him.
What was the last part?
Michael was telling me before we went that we were going to do the rebuttal for him.
Approximately when was that?
Maybe right before the rebuttal.
When you spoke on that rebuttal video, were you telling the truth?
No.
Were you lying?
Dieter had us pretty much, yeah. Dieter had us lie.
Were you lying throughout that rebuttal video?
There was probably a few things that were true, but, I mean, a lot of it was what Dieter told us to say.
Was it your understanding that your mother was lying?
She was saying what Dieter told her to say.
Was it your understanding she was lying?
Yes, she was lying, because Dieter told her to say it.
Was it your understanding that Star was lying in that rebuttal video?
Yes.
And was it your understanding that your sister lied on that rebuttal video?
Yes.
And you were lying about Mr. Jackson helping you with cancer, is that correct?
No, because Michael did help me a little bit, but, I mean, for me, what I felt as a little kid, I mean, besides the fact of all this money and who paid for this and who paid for that, I felt who really helped me was my other friends. Because Michael, at the time when he was calling me and talking to me and stuff, I felt like he was my best friend. But, I mean, when I would call his phone numbers and a little operating lady would say, "This phone is no longer in service." I mean, I never called Chris and his phone was never in service. I never called George and his phone wasn't in service.
Do you recall being caught at Neverland with girly magazines when you were not around Michael Jackson?
No.
Are you saying that never happened?
Your Honor, 403 hearing.
Sustained. That's sort of a. You know what he's talking about on the 403 hearing, right?
I thought I was able to get into these areas on cross.
Yes. That's why I'm looking at you, because I don't want to discuss it. I just want to make sure we understand each other.
Yeah. I won't go further than that on this one. There's another area, too. I think the court gave me permission.
That's correct.
Mr. Arvizo, you were caught masturbating at Neverland when Michael Jackson wasn't even around, weren't you?
No.
You were caught masturbating in a guest quarters, weren't you?
No.
No one ever saw you do that.
No.
No one ever talked to you about that.
No one ever talked to me about it.
Okay. Long after you did the rebuttal video, you had written numerous letters and cards to Michael Jackson thanking him for what he did for your cancer, true?
Yes.
Long before you did the rebuttal video, you had written numerous cards and letters to Michael Jackson referring to him as your father, true?
Yes. Because I missed him. I mean, I wanted to know what happened, why he wasn't calling anymore. And that's the only real way I had connection with him was through mail, because I had I knew where Evie was, so I could send it to her.
And long before you did the rebuttal video, you sent cards and letters to Michael Jackson referring to yourself as his son, true?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. This has all been asked and answered.
I don't think it has.
Well, there wasn't a time frame. You have covered the cards and letters. Is there a specific time frame you're concerned about?
Any time before the rebuttal video, Your Honor.
I think you've covered that. The objection is sustained.
Okay. We're going to go through the rebuttal video. And I'm just going to ask you some questions about what you said and how you said it. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, Your Honor, at this time we'd like to play the rebuttal video.
What is that? Input 4.
Yes, Your Honor, for the record, it's Exhibit 340.
Exhibit 340. Ready. I'd like one of those whistles just before I make a ruling.
Tell me to cue it up, Your Honor. Just for the record, I turned the sound off on this so we wouldn't. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Now, you heard what your mother just said, right?
Yes.
And is it your belief your mother is lying?
Right there, not really, because I had a pretty good relationship with him, right at the beginning.
So you don't think your mother is lying when she makes that statement, correct?
Well, not really, because, he was like really close to me in the beginning. I guess, I thought I was close to him, you know what I mean.
Okay, whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Mr. Arvizo, when you made those statements, were you lying?
Statements about the first night.
What you just said, yes.
The sleeping arrangements.
Yes.
No, I wasn't lying about that.
Have you told any lies so far in this rebuttal tape?
I don't. I remember I said something that, oh, yeah, because Michael told me in his office, to ask my parents if I could sleep in his room. So it wasn't, he told me to ask in front of my parents.
So are you saying this is a lie you just told?
I'm just saying that, about how I asked my parents.
Yes.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Yes.
Okay, is that the first lie you've told in this rebuttal tape, as far as you can see?
Yes.
Okay, whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Mr. Arvizo, you heard what you just said. Is that a lie?
No.
Was everything you said there truthful?
Yes.
Okay, whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Mr. Arvizo, you've heard what your mother just said. Was it your belief that she was lying?
There's a part in there, like, that there was no way to cure me. Dieter told us to say that.
Okay, so that was not true.
Yeah, because they did do radiation and chemotherapy.
The truth was, you had needed radiation and chemo to cure you, and what your mother said was a lie, correct?
About there was no way to cure me, that Michael was the only person that could cure me. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury.
Mr. Arvizo, is what you said there the truth?
Yes.
Have you told any lies in this particular segment?
No.
Okay, whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Gavin, is your mother telling the truth?
Yes, because I remember, I think Michael did, like, a blood drive or something. Yeah, a lot of my other friends were also helping, thank God, because, I mean, it's such a rare blood that I needed.
But is your mother telling the truth in the statements she makes?
Yes. About Michael, yes. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury.
Gavin, is your sister telling the truth when she makes that statement?
Not really, because she was saying that, well, she was saying that people were always turning us away. And that's not true, because, I mean, Jamie Masada was helping us, Luis Palanker was helping us, George Lopez was helping us. I'm pretty sure, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure Dieter told her to say that also, that no one else was helping us but Michael.
And Chris Tucker was helping you, correct?
Yes, Chris Tucker was helping us, yes.
Okay, and this is the rebuttal video that you did before the meeting with the 3 social workers, correct?
I don't know, I'm pretty sure I did it before the social workers.
You went the next morning to interview with the social workers, didn't you?
I think I did.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You said repeatedly in this trial that Mr. Jackson did not inappropriately touch you until after this video was done, correct?
Yes.
And repeatedly in this video, you make statements about what a wonderful person Mr. Jackson is, right?
Yes.
Do you remember telling Mr. Snedden and the sheriffs on one occasion that you were molested before the video was done?
No.
Would it refresh your recollection if I show you a transcript of that interview?
Yes, please.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Have you had a chance to look at that transcript?
Yes.
Does it refresh your recollection that Mr. Snedden was interviewing you about when these acts of molestation allegedly occurred?
Yes. But the thing was, even to this day, I don't remember exactly when everything happened exactly, so I mean.
Well, do you remember being asked, the acts of molestation, had they already begun by the time you did this video, do you know? And you said, I think so. And then Mr. Snedden said to you, so, in your mind, one of the things that you're thinking is, they're doing this video that they want you guys to do so that if you ever told them the truth about being molested, nobody would believe you, and you say, yeah, right.
Well,
Do you remember saying that to Mr. Snedden?
That's more of my opinion, you know what I mean. Right there. That last statement you just said on that transcript, it's more of my opinion than a state of fact.
Well, Mr. Snedden asked you last week when this inappropriate touching supposedly occurred, and you said it was after the rebuttal video was made, correct?
Yes.
But in an interview with Mr. Snedden before this trial ever began, you told him differently, correct?
That's what it says right there. But it happened after.
Did someone ever say to you, you have to say it happened after, because on the rebuttal video you deny he's ever done anything wrong?
No, no one's ever told me that.
Then why does your story change?
I don't know, it happened after. I mean.
Well, at some point did you go to Mr. Snedden and say, I'm changing my story about when this inappropriate touching happened?
No.
At some point did you go to the sheriffs and say, I'm changing my story about when this inappropriate touching happened?
No.
You just suddenly got on the stand and changed it.
Object as argumentative, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Have you ever had any discussion at any time with Mr. Snedden where you used words to the effect, I'm changing my story about the time this molestation happened?
No.
Okay. When Mr. Snedden asked you questions last week about when this molestation supposedly occurred, was that the first time you said to Mr. Snedden it happened after the rebuttal video?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think that was the first time I ever told him that it happened after the rebuttal video.
So are you saying that at different times you gave Mr. Snedden different accounts of when the molestation supposedly happened?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to that question. Assumes facts not in evidence, and it's argumentative and speculative.
Overruled. Do you want the question read back?
Yes. Record read. Sometimes I would talk to Mr. Snedden without having like an interview, or, like, have a recorder or something. And I would talk, like, Mr. Snedden was being really nice to me. Like he was helping me, and he was making me feel better about what happened and stuff. So he's been really nice to me.
Do you remember telling the Santa Barbara grand jury that after the Miami trip, your brother stayed in Michael's room with you every night until the last few days?
Yeah, he stood in my room, he stood in the room with me and Michael pretty much every day. Some days he wouldn't stay there.
Do you remember telling the grand jury that until the last few days, your brother Star stayed with you in Michael's room all the time?
He stood with us, well, the last week or two, or a few days, or something like that, he didn't. Well, because my brother wasn't there when it happened, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't, he stopped staying there the last few weeks.
Do you remember telling the Santa Barbara grand jury, Q, was your brother staying in the room with you during that time? A. Well, the last few times he didn't, but he was, like, when Michael was there. When Michael was there, Q. A. He stood with me for all the time when Michael was there. But, like, toward the end, toward the last few days, he wasn't staying with me no more. Do you remember that? And you've also told this jury that the 2 times you claim Michael Jackson inappropriately touched you Star wasn't there, correct?
Yes.
We can continue. Are you ready? Your Honor, we need the. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Do you think your sister is lying when she made those statements?
No, because, I mean, people on the news media might have been saying something, probably. I don't know.
So you think she's telling the truth when she says what she just said?
Probably. I mean, I looked at her, and she's crying and stuff, so.
Okay, go ahead. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Is what your mother just said correct?
No, because we could have at any time stood at my grandmother's house. I mean, it's not like.
In your opinion, was your mother lying when she made that statement?
I remember hearing Dieter talk to her, so I'm pretty sure Dieter told her to say that.
Well, that.
We can stay at my grandmother's house. We could stay at one of our family members' house, you know what I mean. It's not like we were spit on and all this other stuff, you know what I mean.
My question to you is, did your mother just lie, in your opinion?
She's saying what Dieter told her to say.
Did she lie, yes or no?
Well, only because.
Argumentative, Your Honor.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. You just heard your sister's statement. Is that true?
A little bit of it is true.
Did she lie in part of that?
I mean, because we would talk about girls at times, and, like all my friends that were females and stuff like that. But I mean.
You would talk with Michael Jackson about your female friends.
Yeah, he would talk to me about girls and how to, like, handle them, you know what I mean. Like how to talk to a girl or something like that.
So that statement's true.
Yes.
And anything else you just heard that's not true?
No, not really, no.
Okay. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Was the statement you just made true?
No, because I didn't really have a phone number to call him.
So were you lying?
Yes.
Okay. Was your mother lying also?
No, not really.
Was she telling the truth?
Pretty much, yeah.
After the Miami trip, were you able to call Michael Jackson?
Michael would. I was at Neverland.
Were you able to call him after the Miami trip?
I would talk to him when he was at Neverland. I mean, I didn't really call him.
Did you ever call him at Neverland on any phone?
I don't know. I don't think I did.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Well, there were phones you could use to try to call Michael Jackson when you were at Neverland, correct?
Yes.
Where were the phones?
All over the house and stuff.
You tried to call him often, didn't you?
Well, why would I try to call him if I could just go and talk to him at Neverland?
Well, it's a large ranch, correct?
Yes.
You used to spend time in the theater, correct?
Yes.
Did you ever try and call Michael Jackson from the phone in the theater?
No, because I would just go over in my little cart to see Michael.
Did you ever try to call Michael Jackson from the guest quarters?
No, because I had the code to his room and I would go up there when he was there.
Ever try calling him from the amusement area?
No, there's not really any phones out there.
Ever try calling him from the zoo area?
No.
When you made this rebuttal video, you could get in contact with him almost any time, couldn't you?
I could drive over to where he was in my cart at Neverland, but never had a phone number if he left or something.
Okay. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Is what your brother Star just said true?
Yeah, Michael let us call him.
Pardon me.
Yes, Michael let us call him Daddy Michael.
So what he said was correct?
Yes.
Okay. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Was the statement you just made the truth?
Yeah, yes.
Is what your mother just said the truth?
I guess. I mean, I don't know if Michael was trying to teach us that or.
We can't hear.
I don't know if Michael was trying to teach us that or something.
Well, did your mother tell the truth, in your opinion?
Yes.
Did you tell the truth, in your opinion?
Yeah, we'd go on rides and watch movies.
How about the other things you said, are they true?
Yes. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury.
Is what your mother just said the truth?
I kind of stopped paying attention for a while.
Excuse me, huh?
I started looking at the roof and stuff. I wasn't really paying attention.
Can we replay that, Your Honor?
Well, Judge, it would call for speculation on his part anyhow.
I'm asking for his opinion.
I guess you'll have to.
Okay.
Can you do it without?
This may take a while, Your Honor. I think we'll just go forward, Your Honor.
Do you want to just go forward? Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury.
In your opinion, is your mother telling the truth?
Yes, we felt as if he was closest to us as a father and family. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury.
Were you telling the truth when you made that statement?
What I just said right now.
Yes.
Well, I didn't pray to meet Michael Jackson when I was little.
Did you pray to meet Michael Jackson at any time?
No.
You made a statement about Michael Jackson's charitable acts. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I knew he donated to charities. I knew about that.
Was the statement you made true?
Yes.
You just heard your mother make some comments. In your opinion, were they true comments?
I don't really remember what she just said. I'm sorry.
Well, your mother praises Michael Jackson throughout this video, true?
Yes.
Is she telling the truth?
Some parts she is, some parts she isn't. Depends on what she's praising him about.
Did you and your mother discuss that you were going to lie before you did this video?
No. Dieter discussed it with us.
Did you discuss that you were going to tell lies with your mother at any time before this video?
No. Dieter discussed it with us.
Did you discuss with your brother or sister at any time that you were going to lie in this video?
No. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury.
In your opinion, did Michael ever claim you and your brother and sister as his kids?
Well, he would call me son, depends what she was trying to say, but I don't know.
In your opinion, did Michael Jackson ever claim that you, your brother and sister were his kids?
What do you mean by claim? Like claim on TV, or claim on his taxes, or?
You don't know what I'm asking you.
Well, he said, as I said, he called us. He said that, like, if he would call me son, sometimes, you know what I mean. If that's what she's trying to say.
Did you ever think you were part of Michael Jackson's family?
I felt as if I was his family.
In your opinion, did your mother think she was part of Michael Jackson's family at one point?
What did my mom believe?
No. In your opinion, did your mother think she was part of Michael Jackson's family at one point?
I don't know. That's what she believes.
Do you know whether she felt that way or not?
No, I don't know whether she.
In your opinion, did either your brother or your sister ever think they were part of Michael Jackson's family?
I know my brother did, because my brother was sad by my biological father leaving, as I was. And he felt that, as I did, about Michael being close to us as if he was a father because we didn't have one.
You were looking for a family, correct?
I wasn't really, like, going out and looking, you know what I mean. I was just, came across as Michael being the only older male that was close to me in my life, you know what I mean.
And you wanted to be part of the Jackson family, correct?
Not really Jackson family, but just Michael was there and he was like a father figure to me, you know what I mean.
You think of Paris and Prince as your brother and sister.
Yeah, we would talk about it and stuff. I would always play with them, and I would teach them stuff, and we would go look at stuff together and stuff like that.
And in your opinion, did Star and your sister think of Paris and Prince as their brother and sister?
I don't know.
But you did, right?
Yes.
Okay. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Is what you just said the truth?
What I had said?
Yes.
Yes.
Is what your mom just said the truth?
Which, I can't, she said what she said.
Did you think of Michael Jackson, when you made this video, as honest?
Not really, because he said that I can call him at any time, and I didn't really have the phone numbers before that.
So because of that, you thought he was dishonest?
Yes.
Did you think of Michael Jackson as loving when you made this video?
Yes.
Okay. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. In your opinion, is what your mother just said the truth?
Yes. He seemed very loving and we trusted him a lot.
So in your opinion, your mother meant what she just said?
Yes.
Okay. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Is what you just said the truth?
Yeah. Michael invited me to Neverland.
That's not what I asked you. Is what you just said the truth?
Yes. Well, it would be the truth, because in the beginning of my cancer he would invite me to Neverland to come after my chemotherapy round.
When you made these statements, was Michael the kind of person you were describing, as far as you were concerned?
Yes, he was very nice to me and stuff.
And he was nice to your family?
Yes. It was what was in my eyes.
Excuse me.
What I saw, in my eyes. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury.
Was what you have just said the truth?
Yes. Pac-Man. Michael did tell me to say that.
What about everything else you said?
About me going to chemotherapy.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't think about it every time I went to a chemotherapy round.
So were you lying at that point?
Yeah. Dieter actually told me to say that, because he knew about the Pac-Man.
When I say whether you lied, I'm not asking what Dieter said. I'm just asking what you, Gavin Arvizo, said. All right. Did you just lie on that tape?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. He doesn't even let him answer the question.
Yes, but it's not necessary to give a pre-statement to your question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead and rephrase it.
When you just made the statement that everybody heard in this courtroom, did you lie?
About the Pac-Man thing, me going in every single time in chemotherapy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 1, was played for the court and jury. Is what your mother just said about you wanting to be in movies true?
Yes. Michael was saying that he was going to do some movie, or something, about some orphanage.
What about you wanting to be in movies?
Oh, yes, I wanted to be an actor for a while. But now I want to, hopefully I can. Well, I don't really want to say, but I want to do something else.
Let me ask you what you just said. Did you say you want to be in movies?
I wanted to, but now that I'm in high school and I'm seeing all the other careers I want to be in law enforcement, or whatever.
At the time you were going to Neverland, did you want to be in movies?
Yes.
Did you tell Michael Jackson you wanted to be in movies?
Yes.
To your knowledge, did your brother Star say he wanted to be in movies?
I'm pretty sure he wanted to.
Is there anything you just heard your mother say that you think is not true?
No, I don't think. I think everything she said was true.
Okay. Putting in Disc 2, Your Honor. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 2, was played for the court and jury. Is everything you just said correct?
I don't think I said anything right there.
Well, you said, you've seen the first disc of this rebuttal video, correct?
Yes.
How many lies do you think you told?
I think maybe about 4.
4 lies.
Yeah.
How many lies do you think your mother told?
4 or 5.
4 or 5 lies.
I wasn't counting or anything.
I'm just asking what your opinion is. How many lies do you think your sister told?
1 or 2.
And how many lies do you think Star told?
Oh, he wasn't really talking, so I don't think he really said anything. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 2, was played for the court and jury.
Now, you heard what your mother just said, right?
Yes.
You saw the way she expressed herself, correct? Do you think she's just doing what Dieter wants?
No, not right there.
Do you think she's doing what she wants?
Yes. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 2, was played for the court and jury.
You just said you didn't like Martin Bashir, was that true?
Yeah, because when it came out on the CNN and stuff, then I saw parts of it. I mean, what part 1 no Bashir was saying, that at the time I didn't feel was true.
You didn't like him personally?
Not really.
When did you decide you didn't like Martin Bashir?
After I found out that it was an actual documentary and what he was saying about Michael.
Okay. Whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 2, was played for the court and jury. Now, your mother mentions gang signs. Do you know what she's talking about?
She was probably joking about something.
Do you know what she was joking about?
Not really.
She talks about friends on the west side. Do you know what that's all about?
It was just a joke, about because you know how gangs say, east side, or west side, or something.
But you're really not sure what she was talking about, right?
Are you trying to say my mom's in a gang or something?
No. I'm asking you a question. Do you know what she was referring to?
She was making a joke.
Okay. And what was the joke about, in your opinion?
About gangs. Pretty much making fun of gangs.
Okay. And were you joining with her in making fun of gangs?
I was laughing, I guess, right there.
Okay. Did you do a gang sign?
No, I was probably pointing or something, and then, I don't know. I'm not a part of a gang. I'm not a part of a crew or something.
I'm asking you if you made a gang sign in this video.
No.
Do you know what your mother was referring to?
No, she was probably just joking about something that they were talking about off camera.
Okay, but you don't know for sure, right?
No.
Okay, whereupon, a portion of a DVD, People's Exhibit 340, Disc 2, was played for the court and jury. Is your mother telling the truth?
Dieter told her to talk about the hands thing.
I'm asking if your mother is telling the truth. I'm not asking about Dieter.
She talked about her opinions, so I don't know if that's her, if she was really telling the truth or not.
Did someone tell you whenever I ask a question like this, to refer to Dieter?
No, I'm referring to Dieter because Dieter's the one that told us to say all these things.
Did your mother just tell the truth, in your opinion?
I don't know, because that's her opinion.
In your opinion, Gavin Arvizo, did your mother just tell the truth?
I do not know, because you can call my mother and ask her that, because I don't know.
All right, let's take our break.